It's the first round of the 2019 Texas High School Football Playoffs with 352 games scattered across the state. It would take a crazy person to predict all 352. Let's predict all 352. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks presented by Visit Arlington, your guide to the Texas High School Football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to the 2019 Texas High School Football Playoffs. It's the most wonderful time of the year with elimination games all over the state. And what is that? Oh, it appears to be my predictions. That's right, you thought I was joking in the intro? No. We are predicting all 352 UIL Texas High School football games this weekend from 6A Division I to 1A Division II. It's either on the scroll down below or I'm going to mention it verbally. So you can't complain about me not picking your game because I'm picking every single one of them. But there are massive games all across the state. We start in Austin. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Chaparral Stadium in Austin. It is a 6A Division II by-district matchup between the Cibolo Steel Knights and the Austin Westlake Chaparrals. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, must-see receivers. There's going to be a lot of ink spilled about this game from the quarterback perspective because of Cibolo Steel quarterback Wyatt Beagle and Westlake's trio of outstanding quarterbacks. But I think that overshadows what may be the strength of both of these offenses, which is the receiving core. For Cibolo Steel, Darren McKnight has been unbelievable. One of the very best receivers in the state of Texas, the go-to guy for Wyatt Beagle and this Knights attack that seems to be getting its feet underneath it. And on the other side, for Westlake, Ryan Lindley is the latest in a long line of outstanding receivers there for the Chaps. He is a dynamo and needs to be accounted for on every single play. Look, it's win or go home time. Coaches are going to be turning to their playmakers more and more. So which of these must-see receivers can step up big? Key number two, Steel's junior-heavy defense. If you want to make the argument that Cibolo Steel is actually a year early this year, I think I'm willing to hear it, especially on the defensive side. There's a lot of outstanding playmakers who are just juniors on this defense, most notably Cruz Untz and Michael Sereno. A few of other outstanding juniors lead this Knights defense, and we know that when David Sanza's squad is at their best, it's because their defense is leading the way. But look, this is a playoff game. The lights are brighter. Can these juniors handle the pressure? And key number three, regional warfare. I love first-round matchups like this, and it's one of the reasons that I love the playoffs is because you've got teams from different parts of the state colliding, and we're going to finally get a measure of what Austin versus San Antonio really looks like. And if you're a San Antonio area fan, you may want to cover your ears because the bottom line of it is that the Austin area past few years has dominated San Antonio at the 6A level. In fact, when Austin and San Antonio meet head-to-head in the 6A playoffs since 2017, Austin's 13-4. They've dominated this series. They have had the upper hand there in the capital city. Can the Alamo City rise up and Steel grab a win, or will Austin Westlake continue the trend? Who am I picking? I'm going with Westlake. Being at home is certainly an advantage. That's a bit of a road trip there for Cibolo Steel. But the thing we haven't mentioned about Westlake yet is their outstanding defense led by Sage Luther. It feels like the Chaps are really hitting their stride defensively, and Todd Dodge always preaches to his players to peak at the right time. This feels like a Westlake team that may be peaking at the right time. For Steel, they got to get a big game from Wyatt Beagle. He's got to take care of the football, and he's got to be dynamic with both his arm and his legs. I think this game figures to be pretty close, and I think it may come down to who has the ball last. But I do think that Westlake holds serve at home. Give me the Chaps. Let's go to 3A Division II, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Lions Stadium in Kaufman. It is a 3A Division II Region 3 matchup between the Dangerfield Tigers and the Anderson-Shiro Owls. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, Zacharias' carries. Get it? It's Zacharias Haynes, the running back for Anderson-Shiro that we're talking about, and he has been a superstar. If you don't know about this outstanding running back, then you're missing out. He's a big reason why Anderson-Shiro is off to an 8-2 start. It's their best season in program history already. He's averaging around 200 yards per game, about 10 yards per carry. He needs to be effective in this game. They need to feed Zacharias Haynes and grind it out against this Dangerfield defense. So, When they give the ball to Zacharias Haynes, what happens? Key number 2, Tigers in the fourth quarter. You know, Dangerfield has had a rich history this year of closing teams out late, and especially in comeback fashion. Go back a couple of weeks ago when the Tigers scored the final 18 points in the fourth quarter to upset then unbeaten Paul Pewitt and take control of that game. This is going to have to be the test here for Dangerfield. Can they surge in the fourth quarter like they have all year, or will Anderson Shiro hold them off? And key number 3, pedigree disparity. This is a wonderful time of year when we start to consider exactly what these programs have been historically. And for Dangerfield, you probably know about them, right? In fact, their '83 Dangerfield team is known as one of the all-time greatest Texas high school football teams. The Tigers, as a program, are looking for playoff win number 88 in their illustrious history. Anderson Shiro is looking for playoff win number 1. They've never won a playoff game. They haven't been around all that long, but the Owls have had an outstanding year and can cap that off with some history if they're to take down Dangerfield. But look, pedigree, we say in Texas high school football, matters. Does it matter in this game? Who am I picking? I'm going with Dangerfield. I think the Tigers' speed is the difference here. I think that Jacoby Craver is the difference maker for this Dangerfield team, and I also think that their defense is really starting to play pretty well. I think they can force a couple of turnovers. For Anderson Shiro, I think their defense has an outstanding shot of shutting them down if they can match them from a speed perspective, but there's just not a lot of teams that have the kind of team speed that Dangerfield does. I think this game could be really fun and maybe even a track meet, but I think Dangerfield comes home with a win. Let's go to 6A Division I, 7 p.m. Thursday night at Sugar Land's Mercer Stadium. It is a must-see 6A Division I Region 3 matchup between Fort Bend Travis and Katy Tompkins. You want to talk about star power, you have it in spades here. Jalen Milrow, the quarterback for Katy Tompkins, has been unbelievable this year. The wide receiver for Fort Bend, Travis Parker Washington, is a big reason that they are 10-0 for the first time in program history. But my question in this one, is either team tested? You can make a real argument that the best result for either of these teams is Katy Tompkins' loss to Katy a few weeks ago. This is going to be the biggest test for both of these squads, and it's in a must-win situation. In the end, this game comes down to whether or not Katy Tompkins' defense can step up big. I think this game is really hard to call, one of the best by-district matchups in the entire state. I lean a little bit towards Tompkins. To 5A Division I we go, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Tom Landry Stadium in Mission. Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial visits Mission Veterans Memorial. And by the way, there's another Veterans Memorial, San Antonio Veterans Memorial, that is looming in the next round if they can get past Laredo Martin, if that's not confusing enough. When you take a look at this game, I think it comes down to the quarterback spot. For Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial, it looks like Carter Centerfit is getting healthy and should play in this game. That's a huge boost for their chances of getting to the next round. Mission Veterans Memorial, of course, the home of the reigning Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year, Landry Gilpin, who's now off at Southwestern. A.J. Gonzaki has stepped up into the role, leaving his wide receiver spot to take over the quarterback spot. He has been dynamic, but which defense steps up? I think this game is really pretty hard to call, one of those coin flip type games. I think Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial is getting healthy at the right time. I think Kobe Piper, their running back, has a big game. Give me Corpus Christi Vets. And 3A Division I action, 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Tiger Stadium in Belton as Grandview takes on Rockdale. And how about a matchup of the two most recent 3A Division I state champions in the first round? This is a game between two teams that I think late in the year pretty much scuffled their way to the finish. You know, Grandview was cruising along, feeling really good before they went on the road and got knocked off by Whitney in a close one, ending their long winning streak. And suddenly, they now have to go and take on Rockdale, a team that's had some late season woes themselves, losing 2 straight district games to Troy and Cameron Yo. Now, there's plenty of firepower out here. Dane Yench, the quarterback for Grandview, you may remember him as the dual MVP from last year's 3A Division I state championship game. He is back. Demetrius Crownover, their do-it-all athlete, is back as well. If you don't know a ton about this Rockdale attack, they are fun to watch. Jace Robinson and Cameron Valdez can put up points. This could be a shootout. I think this could be a really high-scoring affair. I do lean a little bit towards the Grandview defense to bring home a win. Give me the Zebras. But those are far from the only big games in the by-district round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Remember, my picks are scrolling down below, so if I don't mention it out loud, that's where it is. Let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I, I like Euless Trinity over Arlington Lamar in a close one. Give me Laredo United to go on the road and knock off Mission. And I like Round Rock Cedar Ridge over Cy Woods. In 6A Division II, I think Denton Geyer survives a scare from Hebron. Give me Houston C.E. King to get by Humble. And in a matchup of two of the three winningest programs in 6A history, I like Longview over Temple. 5A Division I now. Lancaster takes down the Colony. Crowley just barely over Colleyville Heritage. And New Caney gets by Richmond Foster. 5A Division II now. I like Red Oak over Everman and Justin Northwest over Canyon Randall. Port Lavaca Calhoun stays hot with a win over Sharyland. And would Huntsville over Marshall be an upset? I'm taking Huntsville over Marshall. 4A Division I now. Alvarado beats Paris and Decatur beats Canyon. Henderson edges Midlothian Heritage, and surprising El Campo keeps rolling with a win over Fredericksburg. 4A Division II now. Sunnyvale takes down Pittsburgh, and Lubbock Estacado beats Sweetwater. Llano in a close one over Devine, and I like Sweeney to beat Smithville. 3A Division I now. Jefferson over West Rusk. Give me Columbus in a close one over Yoakum, and I like Pilot Point over Jim Ned. 3A Division II now. Battle-tested Childress takes down Ballinger. Rogers bounces back with a win over Buffalo, and East Bernard beats Sonora. 2A Division I now. Crawford over Bosqueville, and I like Panhandle to get by Sundown. San Augustine marches past Garrison, and Mason beats Thrall. 2A Division II now. Tahoka in a very close one over Groover, and I like Wheeler to beat Archer City. Munster beats Clarksville, and Burton takes down Chilton. And terrific action in six-man football. In 1A Division I like Rankin in a close one over Sterling City, and give me Jonesboro to beat Lakey. In 1A Division II, I like Richland Springs to beat Brooksmith, and Grand Falls Royalty beats Lorraine. And those are the picks. I did it. I predicted all 352 Texas High School football playoff games this weekend, and I guarantee you I got at least one of them right. That said, what am I wrong about? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2019 Texas High School football playoffs at texasfootball.com/playoffs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the playoffs, everybody. We'll see you.